Sports, kind of time to talk about the Southern Footy League, mate. We love to get across that. And the Prez, as always, Craig Warman in the studio. Craig, how are you?
Good, boys. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Let's get on it because there's a fair bit to get through. No surprise in the Flagstaff Hill Christie's Beach game, a percentage booster for Flaggies.
Yeah, no, Flaggies, as we mentioned last week, bounced back to form against your team, Phil, Ronella. Then they just continued that good form on last weekend.
Not sure it should have been a percentage booster, though. I think Chrissy's been a better touch than that during the season.
I think we're seeing how good Flaggies are.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what we're saying.
Yeah,
well, in saying that, Chrissy's have lost a couple of players, season injury, season-long injuries. Their big ruckman, Shawnee King, and Lee Hoey with a broken back. So he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And they just haven't got the depth that Flaggies have got. As we mentioned last week, Flaggies, they had 4 or 5 players out, but the players they had brought in, because they've been playing under that specific system right through their junior grades, looked as though they'd never just walk into the side, one in, one out type scenario.
Yeah. Mate, you're talking about teams responding after a loss. Ronella, of course, responded pretty well over Happy Valley. And again, we thought that might be a closer than it was too, but Ronella, obviously angry from the week before, responded in the way you'd expect them to. Very
much so, because they're not top of the table for no reason.
Sorry, did you say Ronella were top of the table?
At the moment.
Yeah, sorry, you got to know that.
At the moment. But in saying that, that's been the one thing with Happy Valley. They've improved in their big man strength a little, but not to the extent that I think is going to trouble the sides like Flagstaff, Phil, and Ronella come finals time. Looking at the scores, and from what I heard back from that particular game, Ronella actually bullied them.
They played well. I was there for, I think, the first half or second half. Can't remember now. Yep. Might have been the first half. But they were dominant. The Valley boys, they're bigger. They just out-muscled them all over the ground, really. Because Happy Valley haven't been in bad nick.
No.
Actually, when I got there, I thought, this is a strange game. This is not the game I came to watch, because they were wearing their blue with the sash. Happy Valley. They weren't wearing their traditional Vikings.
No, that would have been a heritage Guernsey they had.
Well, it was actually I went and saw a couple of mates that actually played for Happy Valley. They were celebrating 2012 premiership.
Yes.
So they wore that Guernsey, which was great. Didn't look good with it was the black with the yellow tag. But it didn't look very good with the black and the gold shorts, which is their colour now, which is the colour they wear. But I thought, good on them. And there was a big crowd there. It was a terrific day for them, except
just looking at the result.
For the result, because they played well. Ronella, to me, I haven't seen Flaggies yet. So I'm not going to make a prediction yet, but I've seen Ronella a couple of times now, and they're impressive. When they were threatened against Happy Valley, they responded straight away too, Phil. It wasn't just, they were bang. Straight back into it.
We like that, mate. Noarlunga, Morphettvale was probably closer than we thought, but Noarlunga had a couple of big outs, but still, Morphies hung around. They made it difficult for them, and they got them in the end, but only just.
Yeah, well, going on Morphy's form has been up, down, all over the place. It was a good result for them, other than the fact that they couldn't get a win. To get within 20 points with the side they've been having, the trouble they've been having at the moment, is a good result for Morphettvale. But Noarlunga, give credit where credit's due. They had a couple of big outs. Nick Mott, 2-time male medalist, and Troy Johnson were 2 of their players that didn't play. They'll be back this week, but it was a good result at home for Noarlunga.
Now, of course, your team, Cove, mate, 3 wins on the trot. So since Ray came in to speak with us, mate, he's been on a roll. So clearly they've got you down to speak to the players before the game and motivate them.
A couple of times.
Yep.
On the phone.
Anything in these 3 games? Have you given them anything in these 3 games? No, Cove.
All I'm saying is the more you get on, the more you get back, and gamble responsibly.
All right. They were impressive. Cove were impressive over Port Noarlunga.
Yeah, but that was our tribe match of the day. But Port Noarlunga showed signs. As we look back at the scores previously, they've been struggling to score, and they, 1, 2, 3, 4 goals max. They got 7 or 8 goals. They had 7 goals, 8 or something, 15 scoring shots.
Yeah, they had more scoring shots.
But in saying that, there was some good signs. Was a couple of their youngsters really standing out. Matty Coulthard, to mention one. Joshua Johns is another young lad who's come from the under-17s this year and is really making a name for himself at the senior level.
As we mentioned to Ray last week when he was in the studio with us, there was always going to be a danger coming off a couple of wins, and then you face the bottom side who everyone's belting. You're expected to belt them. It's not as easy as that.
Never is that expectation.
It was always going to be a danger game.
When would have been the last time Cove would have won 3 in a row? Be a while.
Speaking to Ray, probably about 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So really? Is that long?
Yeah. It takes a while. Hey, let's have a look at round 12, mate. Christie's Beach, they're sitting 7th spot. Ronella, top of the ladder. And worth watching a whole game, not a half. We'd expect Ronella to get up for this one.
Yeah, you would.
Yep.
Yeah. No, Ronella, again, we mentioned Christie's problems with injuries. So, yeah, look, you tip Ronella.
Flaggies more, well, I haven't seen Flaggies yet, but I know that Morphettvale haven't been playing all that badly, so this might be a good game to watch.
It will be. Morphettvale will come and they'll stay with Flaggies for a half, I would think, but then Flaggies' overall strength will tell in the end. It is played at Flagstaff Hill.
Yeah.
But in saying that, Morphettvale need to get a scalp. And they need either a Ronella, a Happy Valley, a Flagstaff Hill or a Noarlunga to maintain their position in the top 5. They're only just hanging in on 5th spot. Closely followed by Cove, are now equal with them on games. So it could come down to when Morphettvale play Cove, who takes that 5th spot. And that's in a couple of weeks' time.
Right, Noarlunga, mate, they sit in 2nd spot. They get a couple of big players back, as you mentioned. Happy Valley sit in 4th spot. So this could be pretty interesting.
Well,
you expect Noarlunga to get it, but
you would, but you want to see a response from Happy Valley after being bullied by Ronella. And getting the tag that if you really press up on them and whatever, they tend to struggle a little bit because that's what happened when they played Flagstaff Hill. They need to show something here, Happy Valley.
Aldinga, Port Noarlunga. These are bottom 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in saying that,
still a game.
That'll be our tribe match of the day because we go to all clubs.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to a terrific day down at Shark Park.
Yeah.
Port Noarlunga don't have a very good record down there.
Yeah.
And
they don't have a very good record anywhere at the minment.
Well, not at the minute, but
showing some signs.
I know.
But in saying that, credit where credit's due, Aldinga is slowly building, and when you look at the results. Yes, they've struggled a little bit in A grade, but they're still getting their odd win here and there.
Yeah.
But their B grade and their junior grades are all doing really well. So, and again, looking forward to the future with all that new development but going on down there, they'll be up and about.
Now, quickly, mate, in the women's, of course, Port Noarlunga had a win on the weekend, so did Flagstaff Hill, and Ronella played Cove, I do believe, in the women's. And,
yeah, they did.
We had a lot of women out.
Sorry, Ronella won. Yep, okay.
A lot of women out.
I think they were still recovering from Ladies' Day the week before.
Oh, you two
right.
are kidding.
Exactly right.
You're kidding yourselves, you two. Blake, seriously, Ronella were much better on the day in the women's. That's all I want to say.
On the day, yes, they were.
Yes, okay. Time for us to go. Always appreciate your time, mate. It's going to be a big weekend this weekend. Southern Footy League, get down there and support your team. There's been some great games. Stay with us. Still, a bit more to come on.